Net. There's a lot of echoey noise.
I don't have any sound coming on mine.
Okay, so I'm Molly, and I have actually, it's kind of crazy to me when I was doing the math, but I didn't start sharing about the products until about 7 or 8 months ago. But I have been enjoying extremely good health and all the benefits that you read about with Plexus. I have certainly experienced firsthand. My family, my husband, everybody in my life that I've shared Plexus with. So, I don't know what else to say, but I'm going to introduce Megan. She's the one that I was introduced to Plexus through her husband. Their family hosts this amazing father-son camp for, over 500 families. So Jeremy would go every year since Tommy's been 5, so 11 years or so. And so he knows Justin, Megan's husband, and I would see their Facebook posts about Plexus and read about balancing blood sugars and better sleep and was intrigued. And I've always been into natural health and supplements. So I think I just read a couple posts and I was like, this is something I need to look into, and got started right away and have not regretted it one day. So Megan is amazing. She's the leader of our team. There's thousands on her team. We are so blessed to be on a team full of homeschooling, Christian mommies and daddies, people that hold a lot of the same values that we do. So I hope you enjoy your time with her and what she's going to share with us.
Hey, thanks, Molly. I think it's so fun. Let me actually just mute real quick. I think it's so fun that Molly has been on the team for a good long time, and then something just clicked. When she was about a year in or more, and she decided to share. So I remember last summer she was just kind of dabbling, asking me questions, and what about this, and now here we are, and her team is growing by leaps and bounds. So you have definitely joined a sweet leader. She is very self-motivated. She's knows a lot about health and wellness, and she is a great business lady and Proverbs 31 woman. So I'm so glad you guys can all pop on tonight. So I'm just going to share a little bit about my story. I don't know if any of you were on the new ambassador orientation just right before this, but it might be a little bit of the same thing, a little repetitive, but that's okay. So I heard about Plexus 4.5 years ago from a gal called Shoshana. She has the bulk herb store, and I had followed her for probably a decade and a half, and we're the same age, and so a lot of our lives are kind of parallel in the stages that we were in. But I remember getting an e-blast from her and in my email and looking at what she was talking about, this pink drink. And so I remember looking and clicking on it and looking at it like, what is Shoshana into? It looks like some sort of weight loss thing and an MLM. Okay, no thanks. And I was actually in the midst of a health crisis at that time, working with a naturopath. We had just discovered mold in our home, and I had gotten some crazy health diagnoses from my OBGYNs, like that I was in menopause, I wasn't even 30 yet, that we would not have any more kids, all these crazy things. My body was extremely toxic. We were trying to figure out what was wrong with me, and then discovered this huge mold issue in our home. So basically, long story short, here comes the Indians.
Sorry,
okay, you can, that's fine, you can take it out. So anyways, they have to come take their ProBio 5 before they go to bed. So anyways, I started working with this naturopath who helped me work on root issues in my body and helped me balance from the root up. And she took me a lot of the way. But then I was introduced to Plexus multiple times over a period of 18 months. And I decided this makes sense. They're talking about not just weight loss. It looks more of like blood sugar balance. And I started to understand what that meant. And they also were talking about things like, that's too many. Okay. They're also talking about things like candida overgrowth in the body and what that meant, too much fungus, how much that can impact your immune system. And I was tracking with it. So I was like, okay, this stuff is less expensive and more comprehensive than what my naturopath is doing. I'll give it a try. I mean, I was kind of at the point in my health, I was like a little bit jaded because I was like, well, what's another $100? I've spent so much money on my health, because none of the stuff that I had done was through, covered by insurance or anything. And I was kind of intrigued in this business because I knew people being successful with the business as well as the products. When people I had followed in health and wellness for a lot of years were giving their thumbs up on the products, and then that they were super successful in the business, I was like, okay, well, there's something to this. So I hopped on the products almost 3 years ago. Valentine's Day will be 3 years for me. And I started to see some wonderful things right away. I was 3 months postpartum with baby number 5. So I've had 2 children after that initial diagnosis of, hey, you won't have any more kids, which is kind of cool. When your body balances, can be some good things that happen. So I started the products. I started to notice some good things. And then it took me between 4 and 6 months to see all my health results because I had healing to do inside my gut. Leaky gut is no small thing. I was on a very strict diet for 2 years and then started my Plexus supplements, and that just basically carried me the rest of the way. And I feel healthy and happy and whole and better than I did in my 20s. So I will just say that Plexus works on root issues. I'm so thankful for friends that were persistent and continue to encourage me to try Plexus. And no looking back. I mean, I look at how much better my blood sugar is balanced, how my hormones are better, my mood is better, my gut health in so many ways. And even my children, I see Ben's eczema vanished within a month, and I was like, okay, there's something with this. I mean, there's something to this. My husband's had 25-pound weight loss. His arthritis in his hands is gone. He's sleeping better than he ever has in his adult life. I think there's one of those. Oh, he's regular. If you have digestive issues, that can really be can run your life. And so these simple supplements have really helped a lot of people with a lot of different things. So that's why I'm passionate about sharing. And I will say that so when I started the products for 2 weeks and then quit. And then I thought it was tanking my milk supply. We found out baby had a tongue and lip tie, like really severe, and he had to go have it clipped. So anyways, I got back on the products and I started studying. Now, I did not have a sponsor, calling me and asking me, hey, what are your thoughts about this business? I didn't have that from her. She just kind of let me be for about 6 weeks.
Mommy,
Yes.
please come to me in.
Sure. I'll come check you in a little bit. You can go fill it up, okay? But anyways, so sorry. I'm not sure what my big people are. My little people keep coming in. So anyways, I started seeing just some good things in my own health, and then I started researching the products. So I feel like, are you guys familiar with the color personalities of network marketing? There's like yellow, green, blue, red. Okay, well, I feel like I was kind of a chameleon when I was starting this, because at the beginning I was very green. Like I wanted to know how and why the products work, because I knew that if I was going to attach my name to something like this, I had to know the ins and outs of all the ingredients. I needed to know the basic gist of the main products before I could talk about it with other people. I got added to this big team page, and I started watching videos. And I started watching product videos, and I also started watching, in the wee hours of the morning when I was nursing my baby, I was listening to Jessica Heffley's Fear video. I was listening to Lori Harrison's Comfort Zone video. I listened to this on repeat because I'll just confess something to you guys. I was super scared. I was skeptical and I was scared. But I saw this as an avenue of hope for people, not just me, that this could virtually affect thousands of people because of how and why the products worked. And because the products work so well, the business works. And so I started studying, and then my yellow side came out. And I was like, okay, this could definitely benefit a lot of people. And I started to think of, wow, who could I help with this? This could be really cool. And then so I started to share. I made my first Facebook post. I was actually really excited. I've been fairly active on Facebook prior to Plexus, but all of a sudden I was like, okay, I'm going to share with people what I'm learning. Fun. Well, not everyone is as nerdy as me. I'm probably overwhelmed people with way too much scientific information, but to me it was interesting. And I started to get these little messages. Hey, Megan, that stuff you're talking about, yeast, I have a yeast problem. I have IBS. Oh, I want to lose weight. Tell me about what you're sharing about. What's about this hormone stuff and blood sugar balance? Okay, so I started to get those messages. And so then my team started to grow. So I went silver in April, and then I was just dabbling. And then I started to post more consistently. I kept listening to videos, and then my team started growing. It was like, okay, this is fun. I like this. It's kind of like a little game. Super fun. So then my red side started to come out a little bit more, meaning some leadership skills starting to develop. I started to be just looking a little bit more at the numbers. I think I was maybe senior gold or ruby by the time I really understood the comp plan. Like, that was just not me. I was not really into numbers. My husband is more that way. And so I remember him being like, you just got paid. Like, it takes me a lot of time to make that kind of money in road construction, and you just posted stuff on Facebook and you made this money? I'm like, I don't know. I think it's cool. I'm just going to keep talking to people and help people get healthy. So, okay, next, so it was a little while. And so, you don't have to know all the ins and outs of the comp plan if that's not your gig. Okay. I just viewed it as, hey, the company is basically paying me to talk about their products, and their products are great and they're helping people. So it was like this perfect blend of health and wellness and business. I was like, okay, I can work from home. I'm a Proverbs 31 mom. That's cool. I can homeschool my kids, and in my spare time, guys, I was already doing fun things in my spare time anyways. I was researching health products. I was helping people with their health anyways. This just gave me an easy way to have a business, because Plexus was taking care of customer service, product development, shipping, all of those things. All I had to do was just share with people. So it was very, very organic. Of a thing. I just was talking, and people started to do the same thing as people joined me. I remember Wendy Lawson, if you know Wendy, she's so funny. So she joined about 30 minutes after this one special I was running. I chatted with her on the phone, and she decided she was going to tell people whether it did work for her or whether it didn't on Facebook. And guess what? She is a senior gold ambassador and has been sharing Plexus with me for almost, in the summertime, it'll be 3 years for her. But it's just interesting how your teams can grow, and as people start to experience the products and they start to share with their people, how you grow. So one thing that really clicked for me was listening to Jarrett Abart's Diamond documentary. I don't know if you guys have watched any of those yet, but they're super fun. They're little 8-minute videos, and just highlighting different diamonds in the company. And I remember there's something that clicked for me when I watched this video, and I was like, if they can do it, we can do it. This time freedom thing sounds appealing to me, and we're praying for something to bring Justin home more, because we have 5 boys, and he was working a road construction job that was just taking him away from home for a lot of hours every day. And we were wanting to be debt free, and with the mold issue, it put us like $30,000 to $40,000 behind. And on a single income, where we were working really hard to be debt free and live on one income, I was like, how are we going to get out of this? This is like insane. I just remember telling the Lord, like, you're going to have to bring something big. Like, what would it be? I have no idea. But in that first year of working Plexus, we were able to pay off the rest of our house and get out from all the debt. So I don't share the business as much as I share the products usually when I'm on a call, but I'll just say that this business is legit. If you guys are looking for, if you're just wanting to get your products covered, hey, you can do that. If you're wanting to make an extra $500 to $1,000 a month, you can do that. If you want complete and total time freedom, and you desire to get to jewel status or be a diamond, you can do it, because I'm proof. I'm kind of the hot mess mama. Like, I'm organized enough to be productive and successful, but like, I'm nowhere near like Lynn Hauerzeil's organizational video. I'm nowhere near that. Like, see, she's so much better than me in that way. But you know what? You can achieve whatever you want in this business if whatever your particular goal is. I will say the things that have helped me be successful is consistency. So I am very consistent every day. I'm talking with people. I'm sharing with people. I'm also very diligent. I would say that's all my strength zone and my weakness. And I'm always looking for ways to be better. Okay. If this is working, okay, let's keep doing it. If this is not working, let's figure out why it's not working. I'm constantly wanting to learn from others. I'm curious about people. I'm curious about what's working for people. I love to learn about health. I love to learn. I love to try new things and also try different wording, like when I'm reaching out to people or whatever. I love hearing people's perspectives. You hate network marketing? Okay, tell me why. Like I'm open. Like I'm pretty sure you won't offend me because I pretty much have heard or thought of most of the skeptical things that people think of. So those are just a few of the things that have helped me be successful. And I'll just encourage you guys that, you know, whatever your goal is, you can make it happen. It just takes consistency, continuing to reach out to people and share what's been a blessing to you. And, you know, I view this as sharing. Like I have never viewed this as some, you know, selling. I mean, that would actually have been one of my fears in the beginning, is that people would think I was trying to sell them something. I was simply sharing and inviting people to take a look at what I was doing. And I was very, very fearful in the beginning. And that's why I had to listen to Jessica's videos so often, is because I just had a lot of head trash and I had a lot of fear about what people were going to think of me and things like that. So it's definitely been a growth process. So you will not be the same person that you are this year as you are next year because of the people you meet, the books you read, and also say the places you go. So, and Plexus is the perfect, I don't know if you call it a storm, but the perfect combination of health and wellness, of personal growth, leadership development, and business. So, alrighty. How about if we open it up for questions? That way we can kind of chat about what you guys are interested in. That was kind of my story in a nutshell. And Molly, if you I don't know if you have any questions written down or things that you know that people are curious about, or if you guys just want to kind of popcorn style ask me questions, I think that might be the most effective way to do this thing.
Okay. Really quickly, I just wanted to share with you guys, when I started Plexus, I was postpartum with Gloria, 3 months postpartum. And with Gloria, yes, but I had struggled with milk production with Ruthie, the one before Gloria, and my milk production with Gloria was amazing. I exclusively breastfed for 12 months, and I continued to nurse her until she was 23 months when I entered my second trimester with this pregnancy. And this pregnancy has just been amazing. No nausea. After the first trimester, I was not this walking around zombie tired mom. You know how pregnancy just wears you out. My weight gain has been on point. Everything about this pregnancy has been night and day different with other pregnancies. So that's just a little encouragement. Megan, this team is amazing. They have been posting on Facebook their stories right from the beginning. It's like they have no fear. They're so excited to share their story. They impress me every day with the posts that they make, their personal stories. But a lot of them are new, maybe even have only been on their products for a week, maybe not even a week. So if you guys have any questions about the products, about the detox, maybe if you're going through any detox, we can help you troubleshoot. If you have questions about, since you've been posting so regularly on Facebook, people are liking your posts, they're commenting, what do you do next? If you're looking for direction or any kind of help with that, Megan is great at offering advice with that. So just unmute yourself if you've got a question.
Can I ask a product question?
Sure.
Okay. So I started on Vital Biome, and since then I had watched a video, and they talked about how they actually prefer that you kind of get the yeast worked out of your body before you start on the Vital Biome. So she would have her people, you know, do the triplex for a while and then start on the Vital Biome. And I was just curious if you had an opinion on that.
I guess I usually start people on triplex and X Factor. But if someone has a known issue with anxiety or depression or something, then yeah, I would probably start them on that. I don't think it's a big deal. I mean, sometimes people have some detox going on, and it could be made worse potentially by doing the Vital Biome with it. But you know, I view detox as a positive thing, so I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. They might just have to go slower on the products and maybe just do a half a capsule of the Vital Biome.
Okay.
Well, we were chatting about double triplex this morning, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I think there's a delay in our
Yeah.
thing. Anyways, so I was going to address that really quick. So Brandy was asking me like if I recommend people do the double triplex. So basically, this is my thought process on it: is if people are going to be ordering for a family or 2 people in the household are going to be using the products, I suggest people do the double triplex. They do get a free multivitamin. Usually, my people aren't, unless they're going to be buying for their family or 2 people are going to be on it. Most single people don't want to spend that much in the first order. So, I mean, if that's what's working for your people, to order that first, there's a positive because that's 60 days worth of product. And then also I always chat with my ambassadors about, expectations. So they want to be on, if they're going to be an ambassador, they want to be on the products for at least 3 months just to see how they work for them. And so you can bump their subscription out. You can set it up still, but then just edit the date so that it ships the 3rd month instead of the 2nd month. Business wise, the only thing with that is that they wouldn't be like qualifying you for points in that 2nd month. So if you're like going for a rank up or something, it would bump you out a month because you couldn't really bank on those points for that 2nd month. So anyways, that's my thoughts on that. So hopefully that helps. Alrighty, who else has a question? I had lots of questions in the beginning when I started.
I have a nerdy question.
Yeah.
So, and I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I can't hear you for some reason. But I'll ask my question anyway. So the business side of it, when you do your, like you say, it's a write-off for the business or whatever, I don't know how to do that. Like, I understand reimbursing them through like PayPal or something if you're offering a discount, but when it comes to like write-offs for the business, I don't understand how to do that.
You'll just want to keep track of your receipts because at the end of the year, can you hear me now? Hopefully, Molly, can you hear me?
I can't.
Oh, okay. So
I think it was just, this is my first time on camera, so I can't figure it all out yet.
Oh, okay. So basically, yeah, so you'll keep track. It's just like any other business. You'll want to keep track of your expenses. So my husband uses QuickBooks, I think, online, and he just logs our expenses, your gas, if you take someone out for a meal to chat about Plexus with them. There's a lot of different things that you can write off. If you gift someone product or you rebate their shipping, anything like that, just want to keep track of those expenses because then at the end of the year, you'll basically take it to your tax person and they'll look at your expenses. And the one thing, so this is kind of a thing as well. So when you go to an event, any travel expenses, you're going to a convention, right? Y'all are going, you'll want to be there. That's all. That would all be a write-off on your business. And so the thing is, in light of taxes, I would rather invest into my business than having to just shell out money to the government for having a business, if that makes sense. So to me, anything that I invest in my business is a positive, and I would rather have something tangible or an experience to show for versus having to shell out all that money and pay it in taxes. So write-offs are your best.
But you don't need you don't need like a business license or anything like that. Like you're good. This is okay.
Yeah, it's a home business. You can ask my husband specific questions about that. I don't really deal with that. He does all the specifics with that. I know enough to be dangerous.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And if you guys want to put some of your questions in the chat thread, that's fine too. We can always look there if you guys want to. Some of you that are coming from a phone, that might work better. I don't know. Or you can just unmute.
I know there's a lot of people on this call that are excited for February because there's some extra bonuses for just sharing Plexus and grabbing a few friends to do it together. And I know that they're open to the people that God has laid on their heart that could benefit from better health and might even be interested in the business opportunity. Any specific tips for them as they just this month really are intense in trying to reach out to people in their lives and share this blessing of better health with them?
Yeah, so there's a double silver bonus. So this month, if you add 3 ambassadors to your team, then you will get $150 plus the business building bonuses. So if they order a triplex or a single, a $99 welcome pack, you'll get $25. If they order like a double one, you'll get $50. So you have a potential to make, I think, is it $275 to $350? I think. I'm not a numbers person, remember? So something like that. You can go read your emails. But also next month, if you retain those people, you'll get another $50. So the bonus ends up being doubled. So it's really awesome. And it's a nice little incentive to help people in your life get introduced to the gift of Plexus. So what I recommend doing is sharing on Facebook every day, not just only posting Plexus. You want to make sure that it's a good mix of your life, what's going on, and also sharing Plexus. And it doesn't need to be anything canned or salesy. I mean, just sharing your own personal experience or something you're learning. Like maybe you don't have 10 or 15 different health issues resolved yet, but maybe you see someone else's health testimony that you love. You could post that. Or maybe you love this business model, and so you want to share a diamond documentary with your audience, whatever it is. Even just that, hey, I'm sleeping better, or hey, my milk supply is better. I mean, whatever it is, share that with your audience and share it on Facebook, share it consistently. And then I would say another aspect of that is reaching out. Do you guys all have the IPA worksheets? Those are brilliant. I was actually on a call today with, I do these little accountability calls on Saturday mornings with people, but I also have a girl that I individually work with. And so we just went over her IPA sheet today, which is basically reaching out and sharing Plexus with a few new people every day. She's kind of in the phase where she's posting on Facebook a lot, and she has just a lot of people contacting her. So I'm like, well, as long as you're chatting with at least 3 to 5 people every day, different people, following up with people, that's a huge thing. And if you haven't done a product tester post, you can go search it. I have one. You can just type in product tester Megan Goff and it should pop up. That's an awesome one because it kind of lists a list of different health issues that people struggle with. It's numbered like 1 through 10. Put a cute little picture of yourself with it or something that's eye-catching. Always use, I tend to not use a whole lot of graphics, or if I do, I always try to at least include one picture of myself because people track more with you than with like a product bottle. But that's a great one. Also doing a giveaway. Maybe it's something as simple as, hey, who wants to try the Plexus multivitamin? This is why it's so awesome. It has an aloe blend, which helps you absorb 300 to 400% better. It has some multivitamin, multi-mineral. It's kept me healthy this winter. Who wants to try it? I'm going to do a drawing. Put your name below if you want entered. 24 hours. That actually brings people out of the woodwork because you had like no idea they were looking at your stuff. People like free stuff. You can also, be sharing about our Pink Drink Challenge that's coming up on the 19th. That's a great way to reach out to people is just to invite them like, hey, it could be something as simple as, hey, I know you've come to mind in light of Plexus. My friends and I are getting ready to host a 7-day challenge where we just hop on and learn for 7 days. I would love it if you'd try it with me. Just curious if you've ever thought of trying it, or something as simple as that. Or even, hey, we're doing this 7-day challenge for Plexus. I was curious if you'd be game for giving me your honest feedback after 7 days of trying the Pink Drink. Just basically inviting people to take a look, take a try. Product tester giveaway. What was the other things? Oh, slim samples. That's another thing. Sometimes you can just do a quick picture of yourself, a selfie with a stick of Slim, and ask who wants to try it. And you can just say, hey, I'm giving away 3. 2 of Jessica Heffley's non-winners, so basically 2 of her losers of one of her giveaways, they're now both almost diamond ambassadors on her team. So you never know. You always want to follow up with those losers from your giveaways. So I always look to create urgency. That's another thing in light of the business. Like chatting with people, not waiting, do it today. Like before you go to bed, you know, if you made a goal for yourself was like, I'm going to talk to 5 people a day, don't go to bed until you've chatted with those people. If it ends up being a crazy day and you don't get to it for whatever reason, then I always like double up the next day, just to make sure that on a weekly basis, it's, you know, I'm talking to a consistent, you know, you want to make sure it's double digits if you want to grow. If you want to grow your team, you want to talk to more, at least 10 people a week. It's better, in my opinion, if you can hit like that 20, 25 to 30 mark per week, especially when you're really in that season of really wanting to introduce a lot of people to what we have. So, yeah, so, and also following up, that's a huge thing. Is anyone that likes or comments on your post, that is open door to message them and say, hey, I'm so thankful, or whatever. Thank you so much for liking my post, supporting my post, whatever you want to say. Curious if you've ever tried Plexus. And I know Jessica, and I feel the same way too. She's like, if you don't share Plexus with people, someone else will. And so that, to me, has given me the urgency to reach out right away, not to wait. Because there's plenty of people that will come back to you and be like, hey, I'm doing Plexus too. You know, I saw you were doing it, but so-and-so reached out to me first or whatever. So that just gives me all the more urgency to introduce people to Plexus, because I'd rather them be on my team than someone else's team. But regardless, sometimes you can't, sometimes it's just an organic thing. They need to join a relative or whatever. And in that case, like, I'm happy that they're at least on the products. A lot of times so many people come back and they're like, oh, we wish we were on your team. So, you know, we can have access to all your stuff and your team culture and all that good stuff. So I just tell people, we have the best team in Plexus. You need to come be with us. But we do have a one Plexus culture where we encourage everyone, and people come to me asking questions. You know, I seek to help them as best as I can and plug them in. And YouTube is pretty open, so they can plug into pretty much anyone's training that they want, if they want the business. So, do you guys all use these IPA sheets? I think they're awesome. They're brilliant. It's like they took the best of all the IPA journals and made them into one simple little sheet.
I did have a question. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
okay.
Who's talking? Oh, Sarah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I've had a couple of times, I have had random people message me, which is always awesome. Mm-hmm. People that I didn't even realize were reading anything, people who weren't even liking my stuff. And they've messaged me asking about, you know, oh, I want, like, tell me what the price is for Plexus. And I was just wondering, like, how would you go about responding to that? Because obviously I can't just give them a price. I mean, Plexus, there's so many products. I have no idea what their health issues are, what their goals are. So how would you respond to somebody like that? Usually I just try to move it to a phone conversation. I just say, hey, can I just call you? It'll be easier if we chat on the phone. And then I just ask them questions. So I guess potentially you could just ask them the questions over Facebook, but I feel like it's kind of like there's kind of a veil there, because you don't have that back and forth like you do on the phone. Or even if Marco Polo is great too. But if I can get them on the phone, that way I can hear their pain points. I can ask them what their health goals are, or what their commitment level is. And then usually what they tell me, I'll just say, okay, you need Triplex and X Factor. And if they're willing to give it at least 3 to 6 months, then they qualify as an ambassador. If they're not willing to give it that amount of time, then I just say, well, let's just do the customer option for now. You can always upgrade, and then we can go from there. So yeah, you always want to make sure, you want to find out what their health goal is and what product they were referencing. But usually when they have those, when I've responded back to the price thing and just like messaged a price or said, well, and then like basically detailing retail preferred, ambassador options, different pricing, different products, like people are like, and you don't hear back from them. Yeah. No wonder, because they're overwhelmed. Yeah. I also was wondering about, I know that you're a homeschool mommy, and so you're busy too, and I'm a homeschool mommy too. And so I was wondering, how is it like your Facebook must be crazy every day when you log on with notifications, but I get so overwhelmed. Like I have a bajillion notifications. Is there like, do you just get used to it after a while, or of being able to kind of skim through stuff? Because I'm trying really hard not to miss anybody or miss anything. Do you have any thoughts or tips on that?
Yeah, so I muted my phone. So I pop on and I try to have a kind of an order of importance. So I'm a big list person, and I just have to kind of tune out the noise, so to speak. And so it is easy to be like, feel like you're like, oh my word, notification. Oh, and then here, and I need to check all these things. But I feel like for me, it's, I check my texts, I check my emails, I check my Marco Polos. If you haven't utilized Marco Polo yet, that's a great way to connect with your friends or your teammates, your wholesale people. It's basically, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but it's basically like a video chat. So like I can message Angie. It's almost like this, except it's individualized, or you can make a group of them if you want to chat together with certain people, and just face to face. So you see each other without makeup on, with makeup on, looking crazy, whatever, but that's okay. It's just, I feel like it gives a level of connection more than just Facebook Messenger. But I basically check through those things. And depending on whatever my goal is for that day, if I'm doing a bunch of coaching calls or whatever, like some things have to just wait. In terms of Facebook, like I get so many notifications. I typically don't do a bunch of scrolling, so sometimes I just don't see a lot of people's posts to where I'm able to like and comment. I do utilize Facebook lists sometimes, or I just have a list of like dream team people where I will intentionally go and like connect with like the top 5 or 6 people on their Facebook wall, just so they see my posts. But the main things that I do on Facebook are make my posts, and this would be for Instagram too, but make my daily posts. And whatever I post to Facebook, I try to post to Instagram. Instagram, I'm trying to be a little bit more strategic in light of making my page look really clean. So that it's more of like a quote and then a picture, a quote and then a picture. Anyways, I'm just trying that. But basically I pop on and make my own posts. I check the team page, check those posts, or make a post, and then I'll work through messages as I can get to them. So it is, time blocking is really good. Also, I don't know if you guys have started or read the book, Get Over Yourself, but she talks about time management and how to utilize Facebook. Like she's like super strict with herself. And I think there's different seasons in our business too, where like in my first year, actually maybe like my first 3 years, but especially my first year, I was very on call, so to speak, because I had a lot of people reaching out to me. I was chatting with a lot of people. I was starting to reach out to people. And so like if someone was ready to sign up, I like got them signed up like right then. I had this sense of urgency. I didn't like wait 3 days to respond back. I just have kind of kept that urgency, and we live a life where I'm able to do that. I do time block more now. So like, for example, I don't know if this helps anyone, but like I get up, and my days are all different. Like this week I've had coaching calls at 6 a.m. So I've scheduled, my life is maybe insane to some, I don't know, but like I'll do some early morning coaching calls sometimes, or I'll do some early morning business stuff. And my life is different now because Justin's home. And so he's able to work morning routine, and I'm able to come in at 9:30 and do school with the kids, grab a quick bite to eat, and then do school, where he's done, breakfast, cleanup, duties, laundry starting, that kind of thing. So it's a little different than how it was when I first started, but that's kind of, I work Plexus in time chunks basically. So then I'm all in. So I'm not trying to do the mom thing and Plexus, or what, when I first started, I would get up before my kids, or I would stay up later than my kids or during nap time and work my business during those specific times. or if my kids were outside playing when it was nice outside and a baby was napping or I was nursing someone, it's easy to work from a phone, voice message people back if they have questions, make a post, whatever. So it is a nooks and crannies business, but then as you start to grow, you may start to like time chunk your time more. So, you know, maybe you have an hour before you do school in the mornings or before your kids wake up where you maybe do your devotions and then you just knock your IPA out. That way it's done first thing. I am a fan of, you know, certain times of day. Like I don't do that well reaching out to people like at 11 p.m. at night. I mean, I will if I have to, but for me, I feel more energetic and excited and fun to leave a voice message to someone asking if they've been introduced to Plexus or if they'd be game for learning more about it. If it's, you know, in a time of day when I'm excited and I'm energized versus when I'm like, I need to go to sleep. So those are the things that have helped me. I did make a post on the team page for those of you that homeschool, that are busy moms that have a lot of kids who are kind of living the messy, hot mess mama life. Okay, I get that. Brenda Martin had a video, and who was the other one? I think there's a couple, or maybe she did two of them. I posted one in the comments too, and I really liked her perspective, and I respect her. And there's been different times in my business where sometimes there's like just life is overwhelming, but I just have sought to maintain in certain seasons when life has been crazy or right after having a baby or whatever. And then there's other seasons where I've been able to just drastically increase my activity so that I could get some momentum going and ride on that for a while and get us where we needed to go. So anyways, I hope that helped. That was kind of a long-winded answer to a short question.
Yes, it did. It did help. Thank you.
Okay. Are there any questions?
I have two.
Okay, yeah.
You were talking about the 7-day challenge. This would be my first time doing the 7-day challenge. I saw your post on Instagram that you posted about the 7-day. You said that there was like a team page that you would put them on. The people that would comment on Instagram, do you get them to Facebook? Is that how you do it? Now, what happened if they don't have Facebook? How would you do that?
If they don't have Facebook, then they can't do the thing.
Oh.
So, yeah, most people are on Facebook. Like if they have an Instagram, they usually at least have a Facebook account. Some people that are not on Facebook, I just am like, well, can you get on Facebook? Like just make an account so you can have access to our information because that's where we share it. So
okay, and then the second one, when you were talking about doing the IPA, do you prefer doing voice messages over like typing? Like if you're trying to chat with different people, which would you prefer? Which is better? Doing voice message or like just saying, hey, have you seen my post, or have you heard of Plexus? What would you suggest doing that would be more personal?
I always kind of have to think about who it is that I'm reaching out to. For example, if it's like my sisters, I knew that I couldn't text them or like Facebook message them. That's just like awkward, I think. Like they would be like a face-to-face or like chatting on the phone. And my mom, same thing. Like I just chatted with some people just like face-to-face. That's how it's best. Other people, it just kind of whatever. I kind of view it like whatever feels organic and whatever intuitively feels natural and genuine and authentic. I do a combination of both. Sometimes I'll just do a messaging blitz. If you haven't downloaded your Facebook friends list, I mean, some of you may still be working off like the list of 64 or your Frank's list, your, super warm market people that you're close to. You may come to a point in your business where you need to be just more kind of intentional about just kind of going through your Facebook friends list. You can actually download it from like most recent to not, the first people you friended, and then you can kind of go back through kind of chronologically that way. And I think it just depends how you know the person and I think the voice messages are great because usually people are kind of curious, and so they'll click on them. And they can
Yeah.
see the excitement in your voice by doing that. You can also practice by sending a voice message to yourself a couple of times. Also, you can hold it down, and then if you don't like how it sounds, swipe up. The only thing is sometimes those like accidentally send still, and there's no way to erase them. So I'm like, oops, sorry. But I do both. Sometimes, and I try different wordings too. If you type in on a team page what to say when, or IPA or reach outs, there'll be a lot of examples that pop up on like how to reach out, what to say. Basically just coming from your heart. I think don't like just do a copy paste kind of like join my team message. Some of those I'm like, eh. I saw something floating around like where someone in like a mom's group posted, and there's a lot of people that were just negative towards network marketing or whatever, but I could kind of see why, because of some of the messages that were screenshotted. I was like, yeah, that's like a really salesy, just copy and paste, hey, do you want to join my team type of thing. But you know what? I just think back to the girl that invited me to take a look at Norwex, and this was probably maybe 10 years ago. And it was the sweetest, most genuine invitation to her business and her products. And I remember looking back at that because I was like, oh man, I hope I responded graciously because I didn't have this mindset now or then that I do now, right? And so I looked back and it was like, that was very well written on her part. I felt honored that she reached out to me. It was very sweet of her. And my message back was just, it was a no thank you, but I was like, explanatory of why, I just do my own cleaning products and things like that. But like all the best to her and thanks so much for reaching out type of thing. So I think as much as we can help people feel honored that we thought of them, whether we're reaching out to them about the business or the products, and pray. God, I truly believe God brings people across our path, across our mind that can be benefited by the products. And I think, if we are in relationship with people, they know that about us, that we're doing this because obviously it's working for us and that it's a blessing to us, and just sharing, hey, this has been a big blessing to me. I love to share it with people. Curious if you've ever heard of it before or if you've ever tried it. And I was chatting with someone that's very skeptical or like negative toward network marketing and like why she doesn't like it. She's just like, it feels so awkward. Like, no, I don't want your products. But you know what? I thought, that's really on her end to feel that way, because I don't feel that way. And the other thing I came away with after I chatted with her was giving people an out. And I don't think this means that you are timid, but you can still be bold and say, you know what, this may or may not be for you, or you can say, hey, I feel like I'm going out on a limb a little bit to reach out to you. Or something that I've said before, actually fairly recently to some people, is I've just said, hey, for whatever reason, I know it's really crazy of me, but I've been kind of hesitant to reach out to you about Plexus, but you keep coming to mind. So for whatever reason, I feel like I should just message you real quick and see if you've ever tried the products, if you've ever heard of it. I would love to share more about it with you if you're interested. And if you're totally not interested, that's perfectly fine. But I just thought I should reach out and ask you if you've ever tried it. Because a lot of times if we don't reach out to them, someone else will. And it might be a different company and a different product. And I would rather than be with the best company with the best products on my team than with someone else. So that gives me urgency and a reason not to be fearful or hold back. And I think giving people an out, they can't feel awkward if we're saying like, hey, like there's totally no pressure, but just curious if you've ever heard of it or tried it.
Thank you. That was really helpful.
Okay, good. All right, who else has a question?
Kathy, or I know that there's a new Amber. Do you guys have any questions about the products or what you're anticipating or experiencing them? I know that one of you don't even have your products yet, but is there any kind of information you're looking for?
I'm probably looking for the unmute button. Where do I unmute? If you're new to Zoom, it can be kind of tricky. Did Kathy unmute?
Did you have any questions, Kathy, about the products or anything? Or want to share a little bit about your experience on the, you're just in the first couple days? Okay. Well, if nobody has any more questions, I want to thank you, Megan, for setting up this call and taking the time to coach us and give us your thoughts.
Sure.
I appreciate you guys all giving me your evening. So we'll try to do this again soon. And yeah, thank you.
Awesome. All right. Well, if you guys have any other questions, don't hesitate. Molly, do you have a chat thread going with your people? Don't hesitate to just put your questions in there. Yeah, continue to just reach out, enjoy your products. And yeah, I'm excited for lots of people going silver this month. So definitely let us know if you have any questions. We're here to help everyone. All right. You guys have a great night.
Quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, real quick before we sign off, just a reminder to you guys, the, what was it, the product tester post and one other post, I think by Saturday, and then we'll do that drawing after Saturday or whatever for all the people that are in that chat thread. So just a reminder. And think about convention. It's going to be super fun. I know a couple of us are going. And also there's some opportunity events in March. There's one in Nashville at the end of the month, and there's one in Memphis. I'm open to going to both if you guys want to get a crew of people. This would be for people that are not familiar with the product, not familiar with the business, that are just, maybe they've liked a couple of your posts, you've talked to them a little bit, you could invite them to come. Excitement at events, and it's really belief building. They'll hear other people's testimonies as well. So think about that, keep it on your calendar, and then I'll probably be taking a crew to one or both places. So.
Yes, whatever you can do to get yourself to an in-person event, those are so, so helpful. And they've actually changed Justin and they've changed our perspectives, helped us be successful. And I would say, help your teams get there too. Anyone that's interested, actually Justin and I are hosting the one in Springfield, Illinois. So if any of you are in Illinois, you can come see us there. I do know there's some exciting incentives for those that attend and those that invite guests to those opportunity events. So it's going to be super fun, super exciting. And yes, I want to see all of you at convention. That's super fun. A lot of great training, specific training for specific ranks. And it's great to connect with other Plexus people. Do not let babies or those things hold you back, because there's always moms there. A lot of moms wearing babies, a huge stroller parking area. It's great. I think every event I've attended except for Super Saturday this past month, I've had a baby on my hip or I've been pregnant. So you can do it too. All righty. You guys have a great night. Thanks for popping on. Bye.